Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Logan Sama, here back once again for Reversal, and it is Street Fighter League Roundup time. We are back covering all 3 regions this week because the action is worldwide. Thank you so much for everyone who's been getting involved. Don't forget, drop us a subscribe. Make sure you're following us on socials and leave comments below as well. We want to drive the engagement of these videos up so we can keep making even more for you. It's a huge week out there. Japan is back. It's playoff week. We're going to have to see 2 teams eliminated and 2 teams going on to the grand finals. And in Europe and the USA, we are rapidly approaching the playoffs, so every point matters. Let's get straight into the action, starting off with Japan. This week was the broadcast of the first round of the playoffs for Street Fighter League Pro Japan. With a good 8 squad already through to the grand finals, it came down to the 4 teams to play in the winners and losers side in an interesting bracket format. Nagoya Oja Bodystar Mildon faced Shaisunkan Seoul on the winners side, and FAV Roto V6 Gaming faced Shinobism Gaming on a losers side match. First up, Shaisunkan Seoul were away against Nagoya Oja Bodystar Mildon, and in the first set, they put forward Nemo on Urien, Higuchi on Guile, and Shuto in the anchor role, also on Urien. And for the first time this season, the players were in person in the studio fighting it out. Fudo was first up facing Nemo, but Nemo had some help of his own in the form of Shuto's notebook. But those notes didn't seem to help as Fudo pulled ahead into a 1-game lead. And it was 4 rounds of domination as Fudo closed out the first set of the playoffs with a clean 2-0 win. It was Akira who stepped up for the second game to face Higuchi with his Kami. Higuchi definitely one of the standout young players this season, and he was locked in and focused. But no one was ready for this first round from Akira, a huge perfect. Amazingly, Higuchi was able to pull himself back from that first round, and he took the first game. Looking to conserve meter, Akira didn't go for the kill here, and it cost him as Higuchi brought it back. A 2-0 win secured with this walk-up throw.
Oh my god!
The GOAT himself, DAIGO, steps up against the young gun Shuto in the anchor match of this first set. And Shuto was deadly with the Aegis Reflector. 1-0. This beautiful counter hit conversion measured to perfection got the kill and a 2-0 lead. And finally, Shuto hypnotized DAIGO behind the Aegis, got the throw, and the power bomb was all he needed for a huge 3-0 win. As I said, this is 2 out of 3 sets, and Shaisunkan Seoul getting the win on the away side. They're now going up against Nagoya, who put forward this lineup of Akira with Kami first, DAIGO second with Guile, and Fudo in the anchor role with Poison. Akira wanted the run back against Higuchi, and that was our first match. The staggered pressure in the corner got the stun, and Akira goes 1-0 up.
The damage is coming. Akira.
Higuchi's watching the skies and he's ready defending this set point. But once again, the corner pressure too much. Akira closes out a big 2-0 win and gets his revenge. DAIGO is up next, and Shaisunkan Seoul send up YHC Mochi with Dalsim. DAIGO looking to make a comeback. He runs into this slide and Mochi takes the first game. Another final round and Mochi checks into this CA confirm. DAIGO having to overextend, and YHC Mochi checks once again and checks out with a big 2-0 win. Which means we're going into a deciding anchor match here, and Fudo is playing for his team's life here. Shuto steps up and he has got the power of the notebook. This sick EX tackle punish took the first game for Shuto, and that sent Fudo back to the character select screen, and the Mika came out. But that didn't make any difference or slow Shuto down. A quick 2 rounds to put him 2-0 up with the counter hit. This mistake gave Shuto the opening, and he waited patiently for the splash. He got the punish and got a huge 3-0 win and a 2-set victory that's going to send Shaisunkan Seoul through to the next round of the playoffs. Down on the loser's side, the first elimination match saw V6 FAV Roto Z Gaming going up against Shinobism Gaming. And Bonchan was welcoming all challengers. Shinobism were up first as the away team, and they put forward a very familiar looking lineup with Fujimura first on Luke, Yamaguchi second also on Luke, and Captain Momochi in the anchor role with that Cody. The Shinobism team waiting patiently in the studio as they find out who Roto Z V6 FAV are going to send up, and it was Torimeshi first up. Dalsim yet again. And in an incredibly tense set, Torimeshi managed to take the win over Fujimura 2-1 to give FAV Gaming the edge. It was Sakonoko who stepped up to face Yamaguchi in the second match on Manat, and he was able to draw Yamaguchi in for the throw and make a comeback for the first game. This wake-up CA gave him the advantage he needed to wait it out, and he closed out the set on this timeout victory to give FAV Gaming a huge win here. Which means another deciding third game, and TOKIDO is going to be the one to face Momochi in the anchor role. Things started well as TOKIDO took the last round to go one game up in this set, and it was plain sailing as the low confirm into the CA pushed TOKIDO 2 games up. TOKIDO taking advantage of the live environment, he headed back for a team meeting just to make sure he was able to close it out. But whatever advice he got was not working, and Momochi pulled one game back with a corner pressure. TOKIDO went back to the team, and they must have changed their strategy because this last game was a huge final round. The double throw getting the stun and a big statement win here. TOKIDO 3-1 with a perfect round. So once again, a team gets a big win away from home. Shinobism looking to pull it back in the second set as FAV V6 Roto Z Gaming were away from home. And they put forward Bonchan first with Luke, Sako with Manat in the second game, and TOKIDO once again in the anchor role. It was Fujimura in our favorite Street Fighter League Pro Japan mirror match, Luke versus Luke in our first game. And you know Bonchan is serious, the hat is on backwards, he's ready to go. Unfortunately for him, so was Fujimura, and he got a 2-0 victory to give Shinobism the edge in the first set. Changing things around, Momochi went up against Sako in the second game for Cody versus Manat. And things worked out for the mayor of Metro City. He took a 2-1 victory to give his team a commanding 20-point lead. So it came down to another Luke mirror match. If Yamaguchi can win this set, he levels it up for Shinobism. If TOKIDO gets the win, we're going to a tiebreaker. It was Yamaguchi who held his cool in the neutral and got the first win here. Again, Yamaguchi comes out on top in the projectile game. He gets the stun and a 2-game lead. Once again, TOKIDO went back to his team to try and change things around with a team talk. And it seemed to pay off as he won this tense final round to save off the set point.
Misstep once, TOKIDO.
Two big mistakes paid off in the end for Yamaguchi as TOKIDO isn't able to get the whiff punish. And Yamaguchi happily closes out a 3-1 victory, which means we're going to a tie break, and it was Torimeshi versus Fujimura. Fujimura tries to interrupt, but there is no gap there, and Torimeshi closes out a 2-0 win and eliminates Shinobism Gaming from Street Fighter League. Which brings us to our final set of the day, and Nagoya and FAV V6 Roto Gaming are fighting out for the last spot in the next round of the playoffs. It was V6 Roto Z FAV who were away first, and they put forward Sako with Manat, Torimeshi, who's on a great run at the moment with Sim, and TOKIDO in the anchor role as Bonchan sits out. Fudo with the Armika looks to counter Sako's Manat in the first game. And it was quick work, 2-0 to Fudo, and he puts Nagoya Ojibody style Mildum in the lead. Akira's Kami attempts to counter-pick Torimeshi's Dalsim in the second set. Firstly, Akira isn't able to get the kill here as he's stopped by the fire. And then in a mad scramble, the critical art does not connect, and Torimeshi doesn't get the punish.
No, he whiffed!
But he does get the kill. With honors even, DAIGO and TOKIDO stepped up in the anchor match. and DAIGO gave a huge sign of intent. He's not going to get pressured. The wake-up critical art takes game number 1. TOKIDO fired back with 2 rounds. This interruption into the V-trigger critical art closed out game number 2 to make it 1-1. In the third game, TOKIDO throws it away with an input error, and DAIGO happily accepts the win. DAIGO shows no fear to walk up and throw for the third game and taking the 3-1 victory. And that puts Nagoya Oja Body Star 30-10 up as we run it back with Nagoya on the away side. It's going to be DAIGO up first with Guile, Akira in second with Kami, and Fudo in the anchor role with Poison. DAIGO up first, and he is facing Torameshi in our first game. Torameshi shows composure in the corner and interrupts perfectly to take the game and a 2-0 win in our first set. Akira up next, and Bonchan is back again, and that hat is backwards once more. Is it going to work out for him this time with Luke? Sadly, the answer's no. Bonchan gets opened up in the corner, and it's 2-0. A huge win for Akira and for Nagoya Oja Body Star Mildom. So once again, the pressure is all on TOKIDO here in the last match, and he's going up against Fudo's Poison. Things started well for TOKIDO as he managed to get the V-trigger confirm into CA for the first game. Fudo lands a critical art of his own to take a huge lead in game 2. And TOKIDO dashes into his death to level it up 1-1. TOKIDO's corner pressure too much, and he pulls into the lead 2-1. But he overextends looking for the win, and Poison happily interrupts, and Fudo levels it up 2-2. So it's final game, final round. TOKIDO fighting for his team's survival, and Fudo ruins his day. He takes it 3-2, and Nagoya Oja Body Star Mildom are advancing to the next round of the playoffs. We say goodbye to TOKIDO, Bonchan, Sako, and Torameshi as they are eliminated from the bracket. So at the end of today's action, it's the entire loser side that is out, and Nagoya Oja Body Star Mildom will face Saishunkan Seoul for the chance to meet the Good 8 squad in the grand finals of Street Fighter League Pro Japan. Hello and welcome back. It was a huge week in Europe. Week 14, the penultimate week, and we saw the top 4 teams already qualified for the playoffs, fighting it out for that seeding position. In our first match, Mouse Sports were the away team, and I love that they're the only team in Street Fighter League that actually have a home and away jersey. Lovely little touch. They were going up against 0-0 Nation on the home side. Mouse Sports put forward a lineup that saw the 4 Phils going first with Falk. Shax steps in the second position with Kami, and Problem X awaits in the anchor role, trying out that Alex once again. In the first match, it was Rickermans Barnett, the man with the most confident pose in Street Fighter League, that went first with Manat. Shax once again back in the lineup for Mouse Sports, and he would be facing Veggie, who stepped up and he locked in with the birdie. Shax was able to leverage his movement and his unpredictability, and he closed out a big 2-0 win to put Mouse Sports 20 points clear. And then the anchor match, the captain's match, the marquee battle as Problem X and Phenom went head to head. Problem X using that extra stamina and stun of Alex to bulldog his way in, but Phenom occupied the space and managed to close out the first game with the back roundhouse. Problem X making the most of that range though, and he walks Phenom down to the corner, then closes it out with that power bomb to level it up 1-1. Phenom reminds his opponent again that he is the man who's a danger when he's on the ground with 1 bar. And this scrappy interchange was all he needed to push ahead into a 2-1 lead. Problem X lands this whiff punish into enormous damage and stun, reminding us just why he loves this character so much. And Phenom, chasing the comeback, gets the wish confirm on block, and Problem X takes us to a game number 5. The V-trigger combo from Problem sets up the big damage, and then Phenom tries to jump his way out of the corner. This time there was no command grab, just an anti-air and death. And Problem X closes it out 3-2 for a 40-point win, a huge win for Mouse Sports going into the playoffs. In match 2, it was an all-France head-to-head as Team GO went against top-ranked Team BMS. Team BMS were the away team, and they were sporting a special all-blue jersey for this France versus France showdown. Team GO looking to take advantage of their home benefits and counter this lineup that was put forward by BMS. killzoo opening up with Karin TKR in the second position, and then of course Crimson in the anchor role on Dalsin. Two players head-to-head that have really epitomized the importance of strength in depths. So reliable. killzoo on Karin. He's going up against Valmaster on Chun-Li. Despite some great play from killzoo, Valmaster was able to stay calm under pressure and close out a 2-0 win. TKR looked locked in and ready to go, but it was Luffy that stepped in for the second match, and he went for Rose here. A very interesting strategy for Team GO. Let's see how that pays off, Cotton. Whilst TKR was flowing with that well-practiced Chun-Li, it looked like Luffy's Rose needed some more work to get to EVO champion form as he went down 2-0. The big question was, who would Team GO put into Mr. Crimson in the anchor match? And the answer was Akainu's Guile. Now we saw how badly this went for DAIGO against Torameshi. Let's see what Akainu can bring to this matchup. It was an incredibly tense first game, but Crimson just edged it out to go into the lead. Now, if the first game was tight, you don't get any tighter than this. A draw game in the second battle means that one struck off the record, and we're going back to 1-0. Crimson absolutely ice cold under pressure with the counter hit confirm into the CA, and Akainu is left scratching his head for ideas at 2-0 down. Akainu lands a critical jump in, and it looked like it was going so well. The big brain read doesn't come off. The overhead into flash kick is blocked, and it's Crimson that takes the 3-0 win. Another 30 points on the leaderboard for BMS keeps them firmly at the top. And with only one more week to play, you have to say that BMS are in the pole position as firm favourites. As you can see, BMS have played all 10 matches and they are safe, 50 points above their nearest rival in Mouse. Team GO in 4th are going to be going to the playoffs. They've also played all their matches, and next week we will find out who is 2nd and 3rd seed, the all-important home and away advantage. Next week is week 15, the last week of Street Fighter League Pro Europe, and in match 1, Wild Blast face Mouse, the team currently in 2nd place. And in match 2, it's 00 Nation who are going to be facing Reason Gaming. Remember, these points determine home and away advantage in the elimination rounds of the playoffs. The top 4 teams qualify, with 1st playing 4th and 2nd playing 3rd, with the highest ranked team having that home advantage first. So it's still all to play for on Street Fighter League Pro Europe. Next week, we'll see you then.
A line has been drawn in the sand, and only the bold will cross it. This is Street Fighter League.
Over in the US, it was week 12, and we saw 2 incredible matchups this week. First up, Red Rooster were facing Endemic in a must-win game for the Red Rooster team. First up was Mono with Fang, who managed to put in a fantastic performance, a captain's performance, opening up with a 2-0 win. Next up was Ajax Fidelity, who has proved to be one of the most exciting players this season in all of Street Fighter League. And what an incredible statement he made. Ajax Fidelity closing out the 2-0 set over the first ever Capcom Cup champion, Street Fighter V, with this perfect round. With Team Red Rooster in a 20-point lead, it came down to Idom in the anchor role to defend it for Endemic, and that he did. He went up against Hot Dog's M. Bison. Idom eats this V-Trigger 2 setup, and Hot Dog is off to a great start for Red Rooster. And showing incredible form, Hot Dog closes out the second round and goes ahead 2-0, looking for a clean sweep here for Red Rooster. The 2019 Capcom Cup champion is up against the wall now. But that is where he thrives, and in the third game, he started to turn it up. This huge stun corner in the combo almost landed Idon the perfect, and this V-shift into punish got him a game back. In game 4, Hot Dog was fighting for his life, and Idom would not let up the pressure. He gets the stun, and it's 2-2, and somehow we go into a 5th game. Idom showing zero signs of pressure, but Hot Dog cracks entirely and somehow gives up a 2-0 lead. Idom brings it back and wins 3-2, and now we go into a tiebreaker set. To no one's surprise, Idom stays on for Endemic, but it's Mono that steps up to face him in this tiebreaker. Mono not being able to get more than a couple of lights on the punish meant that Idom was still in it, and he closed out round 2 for the 25-point win for Endemic and the big lost opportunity for Red Rooster, who were looking at a 40-point win and ended up with a 20-point loss. Set number 2 was UIU, who have had a great change of form, going up against the high-flying squad of NASA X Bandits. In an interesting move, it was DCQ who came out the gate first on Urian, of course, going up against Big Bird. That corner pressure from Kenin V-Trigger proving to be too much, and Big Bird managed to take the first game. DCQ finally managed to get around the fireballs, but all that was waiting for him was a wake-up DP, and Big Bird takes the first set 2-0. Mena RD up next, and it was Sien that stepped up to face him, locking in with the Seth. A big perfect first round from Mena seemed to start things on the right path, and he closed out the second round almost as emphatically to take the lead 1-0. Mena lands another perfect in the second game to go set point up, but showing incredible mental fortitude, Sien managed to bring it back and level it out 1-1 when Mena made this bad read, looking for the interruption with the critical art. And in the third match, once again, Sien defended 2 set points, managed to close out an incredible victory, 2-1. The master of CES V-Trigger 2 does it again, and Oil King is very happy with that result. Which means we're going to a deciding third game, and Angry Bird, who's in the form of his life at the moment, is going to be facing NL. It's Ken versus Luke, winner takes all. The first game went down to the wire, but it was Angry Bird who was able to maintain his patience and take the first game. And the momentum started flowing from there. NL, the blocked DP, and he's going to the corner. Angry Bird, with the pressure, manages to get the stun, and he pulls into a 2-0 lead. It was a change of scenery, but not a change of result, as Angry Bird managed to get the third and most important win here, getting the V-Trigger activation into the combo. Again, NL swings for the fences. Again, he strikes out. It's 3-0 to Angry Bird, and NASA X Bandits get the 30-point win. Let's take a look at the leaderboard, and that, of course, leaves NASA X Bandits way up there at the top, but there's a huge disparity between battles remaining in the top half and the bottom half. Those teams there with 3 battles remaining are definitely still in the running for playoff spots. NASA X Bandits, I believe, are now clear and guaranteed qualification. Endemic and UYU are going to be fighting it out with CLG, Red Rooster, and Panda hot on their heels. Next week, we can look forward to CLG versus Red Rooster in match 1, and then it's Endemic versus Panda, an all-USA affair in match 2. A jam-packed episode this week. I hope you appreciated the action. Don't forget, you can catch up in full on Capcom Fighters on YouTube. They've got playlists for every Street Fighter League region, and you can watch the full show, the full matches, all the excitement, the full production. Go and check that out right now. I want to hear from you, though, in the comments below. Who is your MVP this week? Drop us your thoughts. I want to hear who you thought got the job done the most. Was it Shuto? Was it Idom? Was it Problem X? Who stepped up this week? Let us know in the comments. We'll see you next week, because the action rolls on in Street Fighter League, and hopefully the Roundup will be back in general as well. But make sure you're following Reversal_GG on Twitter so you can stay up to date with exactly what we're doing over here, and it's at ReversalGG on Twitch for when we go live with all our cool events that we've been broadcasting. We're back at it again for 2023, back and bigger than ever. I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining me. Take care, and I'll see you around.